Yo, my people. Yes, what's good, man? It's your boy, No Chaser. I'm back again with another video. And yeah, today I just wanted to give you guys a bit more in-depth match preview for the Arsenal versus Fulham game that's coming up on Saturday tomorrow. So yeah, lock in. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that has interacted and liked and subscribed, commented. Yeah, I appreciate you all so far. And hopefully, we continue to grow and grow and grow. So, on that note, if you are tuning into this and you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do because it goes a long way trying to get into the algorithms and that. Help me out. Help me out, please. No, I'm joking. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way. So yeah, that's that. Um, I want to quickly just recap because I feel that the game on Wednesday that we just played against Atletico Madrid, ending 1-1, can have both a positive and negative effect on this Fulham game that's to come on the weekend. So yeah, just a quick recap. The game was intriguing. I expected worse, probably, to be fair. Not in terms of the result, but the two teams' performances. I feel like maybe, and this is very mad to say, but I feel like maybe the two teams was inspired by the teams the night before. They didn't seem to play the way that most people expected. Most people expected it was going to be two defensive teams that don't want to do anything and just going to end up cancelling each other out. It's going to be a boring game and probably end in a draw as it did. But on this occasion, it was two teams that were somewhat going at each other. Both had chances in both halves. And yeah, didn't really turn out the way that most expected. It wasn't a spectacle like the night before, may I add, but it was still a good game. And based on that, for us, it was a good result. I'll take the 1-1. I'm pretty sure 99% of the Arsenal fans will take the 1-1, especially being at home the second leg. So, yeah, we'll take it and we move, man. Um, how do I feel like? I feel like this game can impact this leg. This leg can impact the Fulham game. Um, I feel like positive. If I start with the positives, I think the team can take a lot of momentum from that game. It was a hard fought draw. We should have probably nicked it 2-1 if the referee didn't bottle it and overturn that penalty with the pressure from the fans and Simeone. All the dark arts in the world, man. Fucking jokers, mate. But yeah, I feel like we probably should have taken it 2-1, taken home a 2-1 lead, a 2-1 win. But we didn't. And to be fair, I kind of get it. But yeah, I'll take the 1-1 draw. And I feel like it will give the players a bit of a boost leading into the weekend. We didn't start. Granted, some people are just coming back from injury. Some people are still injured, and we'll get into all of that later. But we didn't start probably our strongest team, I'd say. But a lot of our first 11 players did play, i.e. the likes of Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, probably Hincapie you could put in there, Rice, Zubamendi, Gyökeres, Odegaard, and then the rest you kind of just mess about with until you find the perfect 11 or the best 11 in that sense. I don't think we'll get a perfect 11 this season, man. It's been a bit of a drag. But all that being said, still top of the league in the semi-final of the Champions League, potentially reaching the final. And yeah, I'll take it if we win one of them or both. So so positively, I think the players will take a bit of a boost from this. It was a hard game against a tough side. They were up for it, we were up for it. And I think that on that note, leading into Fulham Saturday at 5:30 kickoff at home, I think we'll give it a good go. And we'll talk about lineups. We'll talk about who we might see, who we might not see. Pretty much, I'm guessing it's going to be a similar a similar team to what we saw on Wednesday, barring one or two. And I'll give my predicted lineup at the end. But yeah, we're pretty much going to probably see a similar 11, and I do think they can get the job done. If we look into Fulham, I've heard that they've got a few injuries. I've heard they've got the likes of Iwobi injured, Kevin's injured, Sessegnong's injured, and a couple others. So those names, they might not be to the average fan big players, top players, but they're a huge part of Fulham's team, and they will obviously miss them if they aren't to be playing in this game. For me, their biggest threat is Harry Wilson. So that would be the person that we've got to watch out for on the day, alongside the likes of Jimenez. But yeah, Wilson is the main man in that team, and he's going to be the one that will probably carry them and drive them to do anything if they are going to. They're still fighting for something as well, to be fair. They could potentially get Europe. I think they're only like 2 or 3 points off sixth place at the minute. So yeah, they probably will go into this with a bit of fight and make it tough for us. And if I remember rightly, we don't have the greatest head to head against Fulham in recent times. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But what I'm banking on is Leno, Smith Rowe, Iwobi. I know you're not playing, but a couple Arsenal man there, man. Come. You don't want to see us win the league as much as we do, so do us a favour, please. I beg. We need it, man. We need it. This is what it's come down to, lads. This is what it's come down to. We're calling for favours left, right, and centre. We're begging on Everton to do us a favour. We're hoping Fulham just bow at our feet and give us the win. We need it. I'll take it. Fuck it. I'm being shameless, and I don't really care because it's been 20 years since we last won the Premier League, and I want to win it again. Yeah, cool. All right. So, yeah. So what I'd say is, this game is probably, for me anyway, it's the most important game out of the one that's just gone and this and the next one. So the second game of 3 in 7 days, and for me this is the most important. Now, having said that, we did draw 1-1 against Atletico, which means that our chances of getting to the final are higher based on the fact that we're at home. We've got the home advantage. So it now kind of shifts a little bit in terms of importance. But for me, the Premier League is the be-all and end-all. I'd love to win the Champions League. We've never done it before. But I don't think the expectation is for us to win the Champions League. And I'm not that confident against Bayern and PSG. Let me just be honest. I don't think we've got the heart for it. I think we've got the team and the ability. And yeah, on our day, we beat anyone. We've already beaten Bayern in the group stage. But I think when it comes to a final, it's just that step too far, man. And we saw it in the Carabao Cup. I was really confident that we'd beat City that day, and it just didn't pan out that way. But yeah, so for me, Fulham's the most important game of the 3. However, I want to win every game. So we start by Fulham. Get that out of the way. Just deal with them. Just deal with them. That's what I'm going to say. Just deal with them. I'm not even looking for no spectacular performance and loads of goals. And we do need goals for the goal difference if it is to come down to it. But I'm not looking for that right now. Right now, 3 points. Because what we need to do is apply pressure to Manchester City. And I know they don't really feel the pressure more time, and they know how to deal with it. They've already been 9 points behind us, and they've found their way back, albeit because of our wrongdoings, like the likes of losing to Bournemouth and then losing to City. We just let them back in. But if we can go into their game, which is on Monday, with a 6-point gap, I think that will just ramp it up a little bit more. And albeit, Everton's not an easy game. Let's just be real. Everton's not an easy game. Away from home, on a Monday night. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they got a decent standing, a decent little record on Monday Night Football. But anyway, forget all that. It's about us, and we need to do our job first. So beat Fulham, go into this game, go into this week, sorry, with a 6 point gap. Sit back, watch Man City on Monday, and hope for a positive outcome. We're going to look at Arteta's press conference and just have a quick read through the quotes and the comments and see if there's anything to highlight. Because I'm pretty sure I did see a couple of things. So let's go into it. Just bear with me a second. Let me get it up. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm new to the StreamYard thing, so you have to just bear with me a sec. But with time, we'll get there, man. Okay. Cool. We're gonna share window, and we're gonna share this window. So hopefully you lot can see this. And it's sharing. So cool. Yeah. So Mikel Arteta speaking with the press ahead of the clash against Fulham in the Premier League at the Emirates Stadium. First thing first, on if everyone is okay after the semi-final. I think so. Let's see how everybody is going tomorrow. How everybody is tomorrow. Obviously, we haven't been able to train much, so tomorrow we'll have the final updates, standard answers. On Odegaard, Timber, and Havertz. Yes, Kai and Jurian will be out. So they were the key points straight away. There's no Havertz and there's no Timber. Kind of expected Havertz to not be available. Timber, I was a bit like, I was hoping that he would be back for this game because I think we need him and he needs to get some minutes under his belt because he's been out for a little while now. But yeah, so no Kai, no Jurian. Odegaard, he says, let's see. So I think Odegaard will be all right. At first, I didn't understand why he came off the other night, but it seems now like he's picked up something. So hopefully he's cool. Because at the moment we need everyone that we can call on. We need right now. So on his emotions after Wednesday, focus on Fulham and hunger to play, hunger to compete, hunger to win, hunger to be closer to achieving our dream. Yeah, cool. Typical Arteta quotes. Not really taking much from that. Hunger. Hopefully you lot are hungry because I'm hungry and I want to eat. I want to go to this parade, mate. You know what I'm saying? I want to be, shouting with the fans and singing along and all the rest of it. So I beg you, don't let us down, please. On the overturned penalty against Atletico, I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in the last 3 hours, so I don't know. We will deal with that on Monday. Now it's Fulham. He's a joker. He definitely spoke to someone. On using Wednesday as fuel for the run-in. I think we have enough fuel in the tank. We're playing to win the Premier League, and it's exactly where we want to be. 4 games to go. It's game 2. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, Arteta. Put me on the pitch. I'm ready to go. Because if they ain't, I'm ready, innit? Do that. I'd take some fuel from that game, though. Yeah, we might have enough. Yeah, we do have enough fuel because look at where we are. We've got 4 games to go, like he said. What are we made of? We'll see. But usually when we get to this point, doesn't end well, man. Just doesn't end well. But I'm gonna try my best to maintain the faith and keep the hope. On if there's a siege mentality in the squad, we certainly have that. We need to face any context, any situation to achieve our goal. What happened the other night was extremely disappointing, and we need to make it happen at home now. And what he sees in his players, hunger to win. That's it. Hunger again. Bloody hell, you lot must have not ate for time. To compare, to prepare, and to achieve the goal that we set at the start of the season. Cool. On his message to supporters, let's keep doing what we've done all season and bring that energy, bring that passion, and together we're going to make it happen. I wonder if he wants us to bring our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That would probably be a good idea. Anyway, moving on. Only if it's a test of nerve before the end of the season. It's a lot of factors. That's something that emotionally, for sure, we have to manage in the right way. but I would put the emphasis more on showing that desire, that determination, that hunger, that we've shown all season, and even more because we have only 4 games to play now, and everything is at stake, so it doesn't get better than that. Yeah, you're right, but um, it is a test. It's definitely a test of nerves, and I do hope that the team is up for it. I have seen a difference this season, if I'm to be totally real and totally honest, in comparison to the previous seasons. I have seen a bit more composure, a bit more like handling of the nerves. But then when it really mattered, like against City in the final and in the league, don't even make me mention Bournemouth, but when it really mattered against them, we clearly didn't show that we were up for it, really, if I'm honest. So I'm hoping that that changes and it's just a bit of a blip. Against Newcastle, we just kind of scraped through, but we got the job done, and that's all that matters at this stage. I'm not really looking for performances. I'm just looking to win. Um, on scoring goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half, the first thought is that we try to prepare and understand what happened in the first half and try to apply it immediately in the second half. There will be a lot of factors, I'm sure, to get those stats, and it's very positive. But what we want is throughout every 15-minute block of the game to have the ability to do that. Okay, politician. On Fulham's season so far, I don't really care about Fulham's season. I'll be real, sorry. On carrying the ball forward, something that we don't seem to do too often. Penetrating is one of the words we use the most. Penetration, that's a why. Anyway, and taking players' initiative and making things happen. sorry. Through the passes. Obviously, it's extremely difficult against a team that is so organized. So we need to find other ways, and that's the kind of thing we're looking forward to do. Yeah, I hope so because we've got no time for dilly dallying. I don't want to see Raya making 38 passes or getting 38 touches of the ball, whatever that stat was. Play forward straight away. Don't wait for them to drop back into their shape. Don't allow them to close the gaps. We got to exploit, and that's it. On Kai Havertz this season, he's been a huge miss. We're talking about one of the most important attacking players we have, and he's been out for 7 or 8 months. Unfortunately, he's not been able. He's not been the only one with long-term injuries and players who have been missed. The team has shown an incredible capacity to overcome these kind of scenarios and still be very, very competitive. Just quickly, one thing I will say, Kai has been a big miss because he flatters to deceive, is if that's the saying. I'm not sure. Forgive me if that's wrong, but what I'm trying to get at is last season I would have told you he's probably not the guy to lead us, not the guy to get us over the line. He still isn't, in my opinion. But now that we've got Gyökeres, it's kind of opened my mind up a little bit more, and I kind of now see more what Kai Havertz had to offer this team. In my opinion, Gyökeres is a better goal scorer than Kai Havertz, but we lose the rest of the game with Gyökeres because this team doesn't know how to play with an out-and-out 9. They don't know how to feed the striker in behind constantly. They play pass, U-shape, wings, cut back, left wing, cut back, take our time with it. You know what I mean? They play that kind of football. Slow football, slow build up, and I think in that team it needs someone that links up better than Gyökeres. I was hoping that they would change the strategy and the style of play slightly to suit the striker more because you've just paid a good big fee for him. He's coming in with a track record of scoring goals, and didn't he just win the Puskas Award for the most goals or whatever it is the season before? So I was kind of hoping that we would, with bringing him in, I was hoping we would change our style and our strategy a bit to suit him more. And it seems that we haven't really done that. We've kind of asked him to try and fit in with us, which I would argue he needs to do also. But initially, I think we've got to kind of tailor our game to him to suit him, to make him the most comfortable. And we haven't really done that. So yeah, Kai Havertz has been a big miss. I would have I would have wanted him in the Atletico game the other day, but in hindsight, Gyökeres did actually have a really good game, and we didn't miss Kai Havertz. But prior to that game, I was calling for Havertz to play in that game, and then Gyökeres to play on Saturday. It's looking like it's going to be Gyökeres again with Havertz out. Jesus ain't really trusted anymore, so yeah. But we've got to get behind them, get behind the boys, and just back everyone until we get over the line. If we get over the line. Um, so yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say is just really quickly, Arsenal have actually had a lot of injuries this season, and we've dealt with it pretty well. Me, alongside I think most for Arsenal fans, haven't really complained about our injuries this season, but we've missed some key players at key times. We've had injuries all over the shop. We've had Hincapié out, we've had Calafiori out, we've had Gabriel out, we've had Saliba out, we've had Timber out, we've had Odegaard out, we've had Saka out. Like, there's been a lot of key names missing from this team, and we haven't really been able to have like a main 11 playing week in, week out like we have done in previous seasons, like Pep's got right now, where he's just not changing the team. And we've done incredibly well to get this far so far. Hopefully, we can just finish the job now. But yeah, let's move on. On his future, yeah, we can skip that. On not being able to train much between games. I mean, when you're in all competitions, that's usually, that's usually the consequence. There's not too much time because you're playing every 3 days. You're playing three times a week. So yeah, we're used to it now. We should be anyway. Just get on with it. On Rice dropping deeper, yeah, I want to see what he says here. Let's have a look. Every opponent has its things, and we believe that in the last game, that was the best way to hurt them. Find spaces, find time, and surprise them with certain movements. In relation to the opponent, we can change that, and having the variability and the options to do so with our midfielders, I think, is something positive for the team. He loves versatility. He loves it. Um, Now, Deck dropping deeper was definitely a positive. That's one of his best performances in the like recent weeks. Um, I felt like all season he's pretty much been doing two jobs. He's having to kind of look after Zubimendi and coach him through games a lot of the time. Um, all that being said, I think Zubimendi's had a decent first year in the Premier League, but you can definitely see his weaknesses and see that he's not quite physically ready in terms of like the pace of the game, how quickly things turn over. He doesn't have much time, and he's still kind of playing like he's got the world and all the time at his feet. So I think hopefully next season we'll see a better Zubimendi, and Rice will have less of a job to do and he can just focus on what he's doing. But yeah, so far this season, I felt like he's been playing the 8 and the 6 all at the same time. So he's having to do everything, and that's led to a burnout a bit from Rice. But yeah, dropping deep, he was much better. And moving forward, I'd actually like to see him in that position a lot more for the rest of this season. On how impressed he is with Rice's form, what we need are players who can occupy any position on the field. Modern football is going in that direction. When you're a midfielder, you're a midfielder, not a 6, 8, or 10. Fair enough. If we want a total team, we'd better have total players to do that. To be comfortable in dominating any area of the pitch, to dominate every phase of play. Declan is certainly evolving in that direction. Yeah, I'd agree. Put that guy anywhere, and he will give you 7 or 8 out of 10 minimum. He's played right back, centre back. He's played in the 6, the 8. He's even played in the 10. He's not really a 10 for us, but yeah, he's played everywhere, and he has done a job. Um, on Rice being in contention for Player of the Season, what Declan is doing again is incredible. To play the amount of games, I kind of want to just see what he's got to say. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to brush this because Dec definitely is in contention for Player of the Season, but I just want to see what he's got to say about the Fulham game, bruv. Um, and if Eze's freedom on the pitch is one of his best qualities, yeah, we're gonna move on because all of that is important, but it's not important for right now. on the difference between this match and our game against Bournemouth. The time of the game is going to be different to start with, and hopefully the game and the result will be very different, especially when the game turned and how efficient they were with certain actions. We know the difficulty of the opponent, of the schedule, but I sense it in the team. We want it that much that tomorrow we're going to be fresh again and ready to go. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting a difference in comparison to that Bournemouth game. First of all, I'd argue that Bournemouth are a better side than Fulham. They've done extremely well this season. At that time, they were like something like 11 games unbeaten or something like that. And yeah, they were up for it, boy. They were up for it. So I do expect a better team, a better performance tomorrow. Um, and we'll see how it goes. I'm learning from short turnarounds between games, and if the Premier League should help with the fixture congestion, ideally, yes, we know that. If they can do that, that would be great. I think they could help. I think they could help. I think they could help, but like we're used to this. Like it's been a good few seasons now that we've been playing all these competitions, and there's no time to complain about it now. Even if the players feel any nerves from the crowd. Oh, let's see. That's a question for the players. I'm extremely grateful for the support, the atmosphere that we have created at the Emirates. We always want more. We always want better. We always want every single action to be so positive behind the players. The more we do that, we all know that the outcome is going to be much better. And I'm sure I know tomorrow is going to be such a special game where there's so much to play. So we know everybody has to be at it. Okay, he's kind of he's backed us a bit. I I think the fans, if the fans do deliver any nerves to the players, it's actually coming from the players, if that makes sense. Because I can guarantee we are up for every single game. We start off very loud, where we're behind the team, and then we start to see this boring, dry football, and there's hardly anything to get up for. Like it's boring, isn't it? That's just plain and simple. I'm so sorry to say it, but that's what it is. It is boring this season. It has been so boring, and yeah, if we win something, we'll all be absolutely going mad. We'll be buzzing, and we will celebrate it. But geez, it's been a lot. It's been very hard to watch this season. So yeah, for me, I feel like the fans being nervous kind of comes from the players not really filling us with too much hope, or there's nothing to really scream about. It's just like U shape, side to side, pass back to the keeper, back to the centre backs, back to the keeper. Boring. We need to play forward, play quick, catch teams off guard. When I watch other guys, like for example, just quickly, the PSG and Bayern game, I'm I'm watching PSG get a chance, or sorry, I'm watching Bayern get a chance, thinking about they nearly just scored, but whilst that's happening, PSG are nearly scoring, and it was just end to end. It was crazy. Now I wouldn't want to play like that every week because that's crazy for the heart rate, but we do need to know how to and when to exploit teams. It seems like when we counter attack, we take our time. So there's no counter attack because the teams just get back into position, get back into shape, and they've blocked off any chance, any gaps that we could have exploited. So I think the team needs to do a little bit more in helping the fans, and that will naturally relieve the nerves in the crowd if there are to be any. And if he feels any nerves, I think that's part of my job as well because I know what we are trying to do. I put the right example the other day when we played the short corners as well. We are so convinced of what we have to do and let the players make the decision, especially when they are on the ball, when we are defending, and to push them to do that. I think it's great. When they have the ball, we need to allow them to make their decision because probably they are going to take the right one most of the times because they are so good. Yeah, fair enough, but he's defo nervous. He is definitely nervous. Everyone is. Let's just be real. I think that's it. It looks like that's it. So there's not too much to take from that into go into the game. Obviously, highlighting Kai Havertz and Timbers out. Odegaard, he's saying let's see, so we'll see about that. Um, Eze's obviously going to be available. Rice available. Saka's available. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll end that there, and we'll move on, man. We'll move on. So how this game impacts the second leg? How do I think this game impacts the second leg? I just want to quickly speak on this because we will go into further depth once we've seen the outcome of the Fulham game. But I think quickly, if we beat Fulham, we'll be raring to go for Wednesday. Um, I think if we don't beat Fulham, that's gonna put some doubt on the Wednesday game. The fans naturally will start to feel a bit anxious about playing Atletico Madrid, and not only that, we'll probably feel like the league's over because if we don't win this game against Fulham, you can guarantee that City are going to go and beat Everton because they love to take advantage when Arsenal slip up. That's why I was saying at the start that this game is very important. So we need to win. That's all that's in my head, and I ain't thinking about no other outcomes. And if we do win, we're gonna go and beat Atletico Madrid. So let's do it. Let's do it. But what I want to do now is go into the predicted lineup. I'm gonna give you guys my predicted lineup and see how that matches up against what Arteta will do. Um, I'll give it. I'll give you what I think he will do, and then I'll just like briefly share like, oh, I'd do this, but he's gonna do that. So in goal, definitely gonna be David Raya. That's just standard. It can't be Kepa. It can't be Kepa. So yeah, David Raya. Right back is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be Mosquera, because he's given Ben White a few chances and Ben White's flattered to the sea. He's failed to impress us, man, and I don't think he's impressed Arteta. So I feel like there's a chance that he'll go with Mosquera, especially given that Ben White he played like pretty much all of that game on Wednesday, so he can't play another game in such a short period of time. He just doesn't seem to have the legs for it anymore since those injuries. So yeah, Mosquera, I think he'll go with Mosquera right back. I would probably go with Mosquera right back as well. Um, Centre back pairing is going to be the standard: Saliba, Gabriel, and left back. I would go with Calafiori this time. Calafiori, oh, sorry about that if you heard that. Calafiori is the more attacking left back of the two that we've got in him and Hincapié. I don't see Skelly as a left back. He needs to be in midfield, and I'm glad he was in midfield for the time that he got against Newcastle. Hopefully, that's a good sign for things to come. But yeah, so I'd go with Calafiori because he offers us that bombing down the line. He's a bit more attacking, bit more in control of the ball. He can make a good pass, and yeah, I think that would be a breath of fresh air for this weekend. I love Hincapié. I think he's been sick this season. He's definitely more defensive though, and I think for this game we probably need that player that's a little bit more attacking. So Calafiori, and I think that Arteta will go with Calafiori as well, bearing in mind that we've got the game on Wednesday, so we've got to rotate very smartly, very carefully, in order to keep everyone fresh. So yeah, Calafiori left back. In the middle, I think it's gonna be Declan Rice and Zubimendi. That's a given, pretty much. There's no Marino. He doesn't trust Norgard. So yeah, it's gonna be Rice and Zubimendi. And in the 10, it's a weird one because if Odegaard's fit, he'll probably play Odegaard because he only played like 55 minutes against Atletico, so he won't be too tired. And if his injury was minor, he's the captain. I reckon he'll go with him. Um, there is a part of me that wants to say start Eze, um, but I'm also thinking, does he maybe go out to the left? Uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say I'm gonna say start Odegaard. Start Odegaard. Yeah, cool. Right wing, Saka. he had a minimal impact for me against Atletico. Um, I don't really. He's got a lot of what's the word? He's brought a lot of time in this team because of what he's done for us, and I can appreciate that he's suffered injuries this season. So we've got to just kind of just bear with him a bit and probably write off this season and hope for a better season next season. But for me, I would start him in this game because I feel like he needs the minutes. I feel like he needs momentum, and he is still that player that can be impactful for us, can be a decisive player, can make the difference. Um, so yeah, Saka for me starts. I have a feeling that Madueke is going to start. But to be fair, he did play a fair chunk of the Atletico game as well. And if we're to be managing minutes and rotating smartly, then you probably bring Saka in. So yeah, Saka. Um, left wing. Left wing is a weird one because Trossard, mate, Trossard has been a shadow of himself. He just ain't up to it. I don't know if he's checked out. I don't know if he's just tired. I don't know if he's over it. I'm not sure what it is, but something's not right. And his um cameo the other day was a shambles. It was poor, man. So poor. He kept trying to do this turn on the. You know what? Yeah, nah, it's not Trossard. So it's gonna be either Eze or Martinelli. And now I would put Eze here. I would play Eze left wing because I've liked what I've seen of him, barring that stupid little moment against Aston Villa, which he got punished for, and I was disgraced. I couldn't believe that Arteta done that to him and skipped him for 5 games and just acted like he didn't sign him for 68 million and he ain't a difference maker, the only maverick in this team. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, Eze starts for me left wing, and hopefully he starts left wing for Arteta as well because I do think that as much as Martinelli wasn't great against Atletico, I think we'll need that pace against them on Wednesday. So I'd start Eze today, bring on Martinelli later on in the game, and then I'd do the opposite in the Atletico game on Wednesday. Up front, we already know who that's going to be. It's going to be Gyökeres, Glockeres. I'm hoping he can show a bit of that on the weekend. Get me? He ain't done too bad, to be fair. I'm quite harsh on him, but he ain't done too bad. What's he got? 19 goals in all comps first season, 5 in the Champions League, I think 12 in the league, and then the rest wherever else. Um, he ain't done too bad. I did have a lot of hope for more. I did expect more. I'm still expecting more. I want minimum 15 goals in the league. You've got 4 games to do it. I'm sure you can. So yeah, Glock 9 up front. And that's the lineup, man. That's the lineup I think is going to be. That's the lineup I think he's going to pick. That's what I would probably pick as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And we'll see how it fares up against the reality. Now to close, I'm going to give a score prediction on this game. Given that Fulham have got a few of their threats missing, I don't think they'll have too much to offer. Probably the hope kicking in again. But I think it's a game that we can handle. We're obviously known for our defense. Teams don't break us down too easily. We've conceded the least amount of goals. Still unbeaten in the Champions League. Only lost 4 games in the league. So yeah. And also we've only lost twice at home this season. Once against Man United and once against Bournemouth. So I've got a lot of positive feelings about this game. And on that note, I think it's going to be a 2-0. I think we're going for a 2-0. I could see us getting maybe a set piece first goal and then one later on in the second half, kind of pop shot or a little flick off of Gyökeres' shin. I don't really care how it goes in, just score. So yeah, 2-0 for me. That's what I think it'll be. Let's see. Yeah, so if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. Stay locked in because you're going to see me all the time now. I'm going to be doing solo vids. If you haven't tuned into the Two Cannon podcast, I've got a podcast with my brother, XB the Gunner. We're going to be giving you episodes every week, and subscribe to his channel. Obviously, subscribe to my channel because you're going to be seeing a lot of us solos, duos, and further down the line, we'll introduce other people as well. So, yeah, stay locked in. Love every time. I'm out.